Joe Biden. Can you go to the great commercial he did during Super Bowl, which may be one of the greatest clips of all time, Tom? If you can play this, it's fantastic. Watch this here. Yeah. Go ahead.
Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you'd like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. What the? A bag of chips has fewer chips.
Why?
They're still charging it just as much. What? And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size.
Why?
But not in price.
God.
I've had enough of what they call
Here's a Ukraine flag, by the way.
It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break.
Come on, man.
The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
I want to see the drummers in the back. That's what I want to see.
Hold on.
They crushed.
What the hell is he even talking about?
But with all this shit that's happening in the world, what the hell is this old crazy bastard talking about ice cream and chips? What?
Pat was asking why.
Yeah, go ahead. Why?
Why?
Yes.
I'll tell you why. Because raw materials are more expensive. Because inflation at the producer level is more expensive, and they have to economically make changes. And in capitalism, that's what you do. And if you want to be an informed consumer, look right there. All the stickers that are right there on the shelf that tell you what are you paying per ounce, how many ounces. It's right there. By law, it has to be there. This is basically free market working, and you're trying to pit haves and have-nots or one side on the other. Playing for suckers, I'll tell you playing for suckers, your administration and your economic policy. Let's talk about playing for suckers. Let's talk about the inflation that is gone, and you do not have deflation happening in a lot of core prices and a lot of core products. So to get on there and to speciously speak, I'm calling for companies to make a stop to it. Hey, how about legislation? How about pick up your pen? How about a few executive orders? Or are you just going to sit there on Super Bowl Sunday and throw this fake position at us? I found it was very unpresidential and very, very specious.
And by the way, let me do this.
There were two commercials, weren't there?
I'll come to you.
Sure.
Yeah. And James Carville comes out. If you can play this one, Rob. I don't know if there's a clip or not. If there is, if you want to play it. James Carville, the fact that Biden isn't doing Super Bowl interview and probably won debate, says James Carville, is a sign. Go ahead and see what he says. Go for it. This is on CNN.
He looks rough.
And the media and the commentary love that. And I just do not understand it.
Okay, so speaking of chiseling in marble, we want you to live a long life. But someday the epitaph is, it's the economy, stupid. The words for which James Carville is known. Mm-hmm. The economy ebbs and flows. Economies get better. Age, it comes for us all. So if you were running the campaign, what do you do? Do you put them out more? Do you put them out less? How the hell do you handle this?
Well, when you don't accept a Super Bowl interview, you're, I don't know, pulling averages, you're 3 points down in a two-way. It's the biggest television audience, not even close, and you get a chance to do a 20, 25-minute interview on that day, and you don't do it, that's a kind of sign that the staff or yourself doesn't have much confidence in you. There's no other way to read this. And he's not going to do debates. He is old.
So are you?
I know what it is because I'm almost as old as he is.
You're falling apart sitting there.
You never, today is the youngest you'll ever be for the rest of your life. Now, they have made the choice that they want to go through with this. I know Democrats, myself being one, fundraisers, donors, door knockers, flushers, volunteers, the whole democratic infrastructure of the country, we need to be told, okay, this is what the president's going to do.
It's going to be all right. We can skip this part here right now.
He's not going to make it.
The Raging Cajun, James Carville. I mean, he's basically the Democrats' John Kennedy, the senator from
Hilarious.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Look, here's Biden had one of his worst weeks ever. And for Biden, that's saying something. We saw the gaffe of he called the Egyptian president, Sisi, he called him the Mexican president. Jeez. He came back, he gave his speech. He had a horrible week. You know, what did Napoleon say? When your enemy, never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. This is my point with Trump. Biden's had the worst week ever. If I'm Trump, I'd just say, I'm not going to say anything. Just look at this buffoon over here. But no, Trump has to make this NATO comment and basically encourage Russia to attack more allies, where it's like now he's the talking point. Just let Biden gaffe machine go. But Trump can't let stupid do what stupid do. He needs to infuse himself into it. So he should just let Biden just make these mistakes, but he didn't.
I think the timing, though, is also. I think now it's starting to rev up where they know what the deal is. We all know we're not stupid. Now they're letting him go out there unprepared. Just go out there and talk. This is the one, Rob.
This is a video where after the her report came out that they weren't going to charge Joe Biden with the declassified document scandal because of his age and his memory lapses. This is when President Biden comes out and does a 3-minute press conference where he doesn't make any sense defending his cognitive skills.
Go ahead, Rob.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
What is that?
What the hell is that exactly?
My
memory has gotten worse, Mr.
No,
President.
look, my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president.
What does that have to do with anything?
None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed.
The New Deal.
Yeah. What happened?
You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Yeah, you did.
Mr. President.
This is a Democrat asking the question.
About your age, how are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Mr. President,
I feel so bad.
Liability today, Mr. President. Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things
Pure
that came out of my
leadership. Take
home,
responsibility,
things that
of course.
were moved not by me, but my staff.
Mr. President,
Sure you say staff.
Look, he has no idea. By the way,
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer to that question?
Because I'm the most qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
This gets worse.
Right? Is it now? Think about this. So, all the classified documents, the same thing that people were saying that was happening with Trump. He's not going to get in trouble, which anybody else would have been impeached, because he's too old to remember. And just FYI, the report also said that Biden had difficulty remembering when he was vice president during his interview with investigators, apparently forgetting when his term began and ended. Now, guys, please think about this. If the president of the United States can't be held responsible for violations of the law because his mind is mush, should he have access to the nuclear codes? Should he be responsible for our troops and making decisions for war? And for all the people that, when Trump was in going, he has the codes. Where are you at? Are you worried right now? Look at the guy that is in the leader of the free world, has no idea what to do with his hands. And by the way, you made a good point. Shame on his wife. Shame on the party. Shame on all of them for he's finished, bro. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Say what you want about Trump and comments and orange guy and all those hacky ass jokes. The guy had balls. He says what he wants. I feel bad for him.
He's got only 3 more months left. All they're telling him right now is, bro,
hang on.
Can you hang on 3 more months, please?
Just needle.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
Why do you say 3 months, by the way?
They're gonna replace him with Newsom and Michelle. They're gonna replace him with somebody. Go ahead.
We don't have a president. We have elder abuse, and I feel very sorry for this man. If he lived in Florida, laws that were passed by Ron DeSantis, preventing this kind of elder abuse, the family could call the hotline and people would intervene.
Wow.
It's funny.
Yeah. Rob, what were you going to say?
If you keep listening to the questions, they keep phrasing it as, are you too old to run? Are you too old to run? What's concerning to me is that they're going to try and lump Trump in the same category. Is he too old to run? But this isn't about age. This is about cognitive ability. Yeah. And you can watch Trump. We went to the Turning Point USA event. The guy spoke for an hour and 47 minutes straight. I would pay $1 million. I don't have $1 million. I'd pay $1 million to see Joe Biden try and do an hour and 47 minutes. But you can never do it.
Remember when he was in Vietnam? What do you mean? He did 8 minutes and he went, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm going to go to bed. He said that. He said that. He said it live. And people were like, okay, he's going night-night.
We know where this is going. We know where this is going. This is going to the convention, and we are going to find out at that convention what the DNC has said. I've been saying it for a year. We've been talking about it on this podcast. You can just go back and look at the Obama years, then look at the first year of Biden, and look at how the press, which is liberal, which lines up with the Democrats, how they've been kept on a leash, and now they've been released. They were released under Hunter Biden. They were released now on, the things he's been saying about Netanyahu. Those are all leaks that have been released. Obama knew how to keep that stuff under wraps and keep the press in his corner doing what they wanted them to do. Why have they been unleashed? Because the fix is in and a change is coming. We could all argue here, I'll bet you this, I'll bet you that, but a change is coming. This man is not going to be on, this is my opinion based on everything I see, this man's not going to be on the ballot. We're going to get to August 21st. There's going to be a vote. And all those delegate rules, we're all going to find out about those at this vote in Chicago, and we're going to have different candidates that are running because the establishment behind the DNC is not going to let it happen. And now you're seeing all the media and all the stories and all the people yelling. Would at a press conference during his first year in office, would they have been allowed
are you crazy?
With credentials?
Nope.
They would have been called and they said, NBC, pull your guy out of here. Don't do that shit. Pull your guy out. That's what have happened the first year. Now they're there. This isn't just Fox News arguing with the press secretary. This is a room full of people that line up with the Democrat Party yelling at the U.S. president. That doesn't happen, folks. Just look at the pictures and listen to what you hear.
And you guys all make very legitimate arguments here. Zero pushback. In fact, 86% of Americans thinks he's too old to run. In my opinion, he was never meant to be a two-term president. He was meant to be a stopgap for whatever happened between Trump 2016 and 2020 and COVID. He came in there. He came in. He shouted about unity. He shouted about bringing together. But he's shifted to the left. He's clearly declining in health. A year ago, he should have said, thank you for your service, America. Thank you for voting me in. The next leader will be X amount, and just been a kingmaker. Instead, he's still in it, and it's getting very dubious and ugly.
This actually does help Trump, though, if you think about it, because now if they ever try to play this classified shit with him, he goes, wait a minute, I'm old. I'm sorry, I forgot. He could play that card for them, so good.
By the way, meanwhile, Hillary Clinton, go ahead and play
my favorite.
This.
She's talking
go
again?
Ahead, Rob. Play this clip.
So hot.
All of this, the thing that we keep seeing in poll after poll after poll is concern about Biden's age. Full stop. What should he do on this? Is it a matter of sort of like underscoring his boundless energy, or should he embrace his 8 decades on Earth and the great wisdom he's gained through all of this?
I mean, do you have the above? All of the above. I mean, I talk to people in the White House all the time, and
of course you do.
They know it's an issue, but as I like to say, look, it's a legitimate issue. It's a legitimate issue for Trump, who's only 3 years younger, right? So it's an issue. Once you say that, then you have to also talk about what's at stake in the election, and I'm for Joe Biden for re-election on the merits, because I think he's done a really good job as president. So I think he should continue to get out and campaign. He's been campaigning pretty vigorously across the country.
Who's she talking?
And he actually does events where he's interacting with people, unlike Trump, who stands on a stage and, goes on and on.
What a loser! What a just hater loser!
Pause it. Well, but look at the buckles. I thought it was a straitjacket.
Because you said it before we came in. Gavin Newsom is on the same page as her, right, Pat?
What do you mean? In what way?
Gavin Newsom talking about Biden.
Yeah. By the way, let's go to Newsom.
Oh, hang on, Vinny. It's not on the same page. It's called reading the same script.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, she's only 2 years younger than Trump. I don't know how she's talking. She's 76. Yeah, well, she's sitting there talking about...
I think Bill Clinton's even younger than Trump.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, Bill Clinton hasn't been a president since 2000.
Some of you guys have been asking about PBD Podcast gear. We finally have it. Here's your PBD Podcast gear you were asking about. That mug, if you order today, the PBD Podcast hat or the PBD Podcast shirt combined together, you get the mug for free on the house. We'll send it over to you. And remember, if supply you order over $70, shipping is free. And this mug you see me holding right now, when you put a hot coffee or hot tea or hot water in it, it turns into the PBD Podcast colors that we got. So if you're at the office working, if you want to go brag about the fact that you listen to content and you can entertain opposing ideas and see it could spark a conversation with others, go get yourself the hat, the shirt, and we'll send a mug over to you.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.